Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to do this on the project board. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert. Today we got the project board behind us again. We'll be going to do some wiring, residential wiring. Nothing complicated today. Just wanted to do this will be part one of the residential wiring video and techniques. We're going to be doing a single pole light switch and a single light fixture today. We're going to be coming in with some 14.2 over to the light switch box and coming out with some 14.2 going up to the light fixture. I'm going to base this on a 15 amp circuit breaker as if you were coming from the panel. So we'll be using 14.2 for 15 amp. With that being said, I'm going to post a video, a little clip of the wiring that I drew up for this particular scenario here that we're doing. So thank you all for subscribing. Those that subscribe to the channel already, I appreciate it very much. Really helps the channel out. For those of you that are new that like the content that you see, I ask that you do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. That way you guys can be notified whenever we post new content. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Okay, so here's the print, guys, that I drew out for this mock-up, the single pole light switch with a single fixture. I did draw the circuit breaker box here, the breaker panel. We're going to consider this is a sub panel, so we did isolate the ground and the neutral. You have to do that by code. If this were the first means of disconnect or the main panel, you could bond the ground and the neutral together. But this is a sub panel, so we're going to isolate. We're going to consider this a 15 amp breaker, so we're going to size these conductors to 14.2 with ground. If you were using a 20 amp, of course, you would have to size these conductors to a 20 amp rating, which would be 12 gauge conductors. Vice versa, if this was a 30 amp, say double pole, you'd have to use 10 gauge conductors. But for this particular application, it's a sub panel. This is a 15 amp single pole breaker feeding the light. And let's talk about this. So we have the ground coming out of the breaker box going to, on the first set of Romex. We're going to go to I like doing grounds first. We're going to wire nut a pigtail, go to the light, come off on the other set, and go to the light fixture with the grounded wire. The neutral, we're going to come out of the breaker panel box. We're going to go to the light fixture box. This will be wire nutted. So you'll have this set of conductors on this side, this set of conductors on this side. You'll have two sets. This will make more sense when you see it. But wire nut, neutral to the light fixture. That leaves us with the 120 volt single pole 15 amp breaker in the panel box. Come off hit with the 14 gauge black wire. We're gonna go around. Personal preference for me, you got two goat screws on this single pole light switch. I like to go from bottom to top. So I'm coming into the bottom, coming out of the top of the switch, going to the light fixture. That way when you turn the light fixture or the light switch on, you pass voltage, close the contacts, pass voltage from the switch to the light fixture. Turn it off, it opens the circuit, light goes off. So this is the mock-up that we're going to use. This is going to be the way we're going to wire it up. If you guys want to screenshot this, pause the video, draw it. That way you can have something to go by. Let's get right into this. Okay, so we got our wire run. Got our incoming power here. Coming over to our switch box with 14.2. We got some 14.2 coming out of our switch box, going over to our light fixture. Now, we're going to start here at the switch box. Personal preference for me is I like to go ahead and just do the grounds, get them out of the way, shove them back in the back of the box, do the neutrals, wire nut them together, shove them in back of the box, and then we'll work with the 2 black wires. And then once we get the switch box done, we'll head up and do the light fixture. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these 2 ground copper wires and we're going to twist those together. Four or 5 times. Then, once you get those twisted together, we're going to cut off one side. And then we're going to take a grounding nut. Now how this works is it has a hole in the center so that when you slide this on, slide it over that wire and you tighten it down against the grounded wires. And then what you want to do after that is you're going to take, you can use needle nose. Most of it might be a little much, we'll see. Most of you crimper or strippers have a little hole that you can use to make the loop. So there's our grounding wire. What we want to do with that. Now here's an important thing to remember. Whenever you put these on, you want to put these on in the direction that the screw tightens. So in our case, we're going to put it like that. We're going to take a screwdriver and we're going to tighten her down. Okay. Now, with the ground wire done, what you want to do, so I'm going to do the whites next. Like I said, it's just a personal preference for me. I like to do the whites. And basically, the whites, we're just going to get wire nutted, strip back, I don't know, 1/2 inch or so. Let me strip that one back just a little bit. And then once you get the whites stripped back, just take you can use what they call a Wago lever nut too. We'll take the white wires, take you some lineman pliers, and twist these guys together real good. Just like that. A lot of guys mess up there because if you would have just took these 2 together and not twist them and put a wire nut on, it's liable to come back apart on you over time. So it's always a good idea to twist those guys together real good and tight. We're going to put the wire nut on nice and snug. And we're going to tuck him back in the back of the box. And we got our ground. Now, that's going to leave us with the 2 black wires. We'll go ahead and strip these back. Make you a loop on each end. Just like that. Now, on the single pole, I guess you guys can see On the single pole light switch, you have 2 gold screws. So it doesn't really matter which black wire on the single pole switch goes where. But a personal preference for me is I like to always put the common, which would be your line or wire coming in to the bottom of the box. I always like to put it on the bottom. So let's go ahead and I probably need to go ahead and strip those back just a little bit more. Let's go ahead and redo those. I didn't really leave enough. Back it off just a little bit more. Beautiful. Now tighten her up. Notice the direction of the hook goes this way, that way you tighten it. And you got just enough copper here coming off the bottom of the screw on both sides. You don't have a lot coming out to back where it's exposed. You don't want that. So that turned out pretty good. Let's go ahead and loosen this terminal up here. And let's go ahead and shove this one behind there. Let me loosen that nut just a smidge more. There we go. Now this one will go under the same way with the hook toward the right side, or clockwise. Tighten her down. Okay, so now we've got both of our blacks. We got our common wire coming from the breaker on the bottom screw on this side. Then we got our one going to our light fixture up to the fixture box hooked up on the top. We have our neutrals wired together, and we have our switch grounded. So let's go ahead and put this onto the box. All right, so let's try to tuck everything back into the box here. This might get quicker. You don't want to over tighten those, especially when you're using a drill. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and move it to our light fixture, and we're just left with 3 wires up here. We got the ground, black, and the white. The ground wire we're not going to be using, simply because our fixture doesn't call for one. It's a plastic fixture. The box is plastic, so we don't really need to bond it up here. So for the grounding wire, we're just simply going to push back in the back of the box. We're going to go ahead and strip the black and the white. And let's go ahead and put us a hook on it. Now, if you notice on the back of the fixture here, we have a gold screw, which is our common. And I don't know if you can tell, but we have 2 silver screws. That is going to be for a neutral wire. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and do our common first. And make sure you put the J hook or the shepherd's hook, whatever you want to call it, on the right direction. Now we're going to tighten this up. Notice once again how your hook's orientated to the clockwise, and you don't have too much copper exposed. Then you want to do the same thing with the white neutral wire. You want to bring it down, and you want to hook it around the silver screw. Tighten her down. And you notice how it grabs and wants to pull the copper on around with it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find our screws, and we'll go ahead and mount this light fixture on the box here, and we'll be ready to try it. Okay, so I got power on it now. I just plugged it into the receptacle back here. We got our 14.2 coming in from our breaker panel, going to our light switch. We got our 14.2 coming out, going to our light fixture. So let's go ahead and flip the switch on and see what happens. Awesome. So this is the basic single pole, single light fixture on how to wire it up. In the next video, I think we're going to call this video done. In the next video, we're going to be coming in from the light fixture with the 14.2 coming from the breaker panel, coming down to the switch box, and then coming back. That way it give you another scenario, because not all the time you're going to be coming in with a switch box with the power. So sometimes you'll have the power coming in at the light box and then coming down to the switch box and then back. Switch lead, that is. But guys, appreciate y'all watching. If you like the video, do me a big favor and hit the thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Really appreciate it. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later.